Hello, everybody. Shannon here from The Girl Who Couldn't Save. Welcome back to another video. I'm having a lot of conflicting feelings because I decided to record a lot of content today without putting on makeup or doing my hair. And now I'm feeling a little conflicted about it. But anyways, here we are. I want to show you how I am budgeting a big influx of cash that came through my business this month. Now I say big, might not be big to you, but it was big to me. I currently carry no credit card debt, and this was my first month. It felt big to me because I'm not carrying credit card debt. It felt big to me because I'm not living month to month. It felt big to me because I am doing this all while I am home with my kids most of the time, and I am working about anywhere from like 10 to maybe 14 hours a week. So it felt really big to me. Now I'm going to show you, and you need a budget, how I am actually allocating my money, what I am doing with an amount of money that comes through my business when it's a big influx of cash, how I'm distributing it, how I'm feeling about it, like what's going on. But I want to show you what that looks like, and you need a budget. So let me go over here and share my screen with you. And let's get started. All right, so as you can see right here, I have $4,918.97 that came through my business checking account. Now, I just want to kind of give you a little FYI. I already had my expenses for the month of November covered. So I don't live paycheck to paycheck. It's kind of like, that's not how a lot of us online entrepreneurs live. We don't have paycheck to paycheck, but I don't live month to month. So the payments that come in, as today's date, it's November 17th. When I get payments from like November 5th, I'm not using those payments to pay for November 17th bills or November 28th bills. I use money that I made in October to pay for November's expenses. So that's called aging your money. And You Need a Budget helps you to age your money. It's also what I teach my clients on how to do. So I'm not paying for November's monthly expenses with this amount of money that came in. So it's kind of cool because it feels really abundant to have $5,000 come through my checking account, and I don't have to use it to pay this month's bills. So now I get to really sit down and look at all of my categories and expenses, and you get to watch as I begin to decide how I'm going to distribute this money. You know, how am I going to pay for myself? Am I going to put money towards savings? Am I going to put money towards, hiring a virtual assistant? Am I going to put the money here? What am I going to do with it, right? Now, I will tell you that it doesn't mean right now I'm currently not at a space where I'm able to say, hey, in the month of December, I'm also going to make $5,000. That's not what is currently happening in my business. This was just a big cash influx that I had happen. And now I'm going to show you, okay, how I'm going to use this money without knowing December is either going to be either a $600 or $1,500 month, or it might be another $5,000 cash month, right? But I'm going in with the idea that I don't know how much December is going to be. I know it's going to be on the lower end. So what I also want to point out to you, though, in this lesson, which I think is really important for a lot of online entrepreneurs to know, is that I know how much it costs my business to run on what I call the bare bones budget. So a bare bones budget is what software, what subscriptions do I need in order for me to book clients, have clients pay me, and meet with clients, right? What software do I need at the very basics, right? Like no fancy software, no extra things. Like, what does my business really need to run if I needed to get it down to that point? There was previously, if you haven't heard of my story before, you can watch one of my other videos, how pregnancy tanked my business. Was basically pregnancy was that big wake-up call for me. That was when I found out, okay, I need my business to run on the minimal amount of money it can, so I can get through this pregnancy and I can get through maternity leave. So my bare bones budget is if I click right here, all right, and You Need a Budget. And I'm going to take off this because this one it's like negotiable. Like it's not something I need to have in order for my business to run. I also would cancel this if I needed it. So I have this number right here. $135.99 is what it costs my business monthly to run without any other fancy things. I use all of the software here to connect with clients, to meet new clients, to have clients pay me, to have clients have access to courses, to have client meetings. This is what I need, $135.99 for my business to run monthly. So knowing that number really keeps my expenses in line, because I know when that number gets too high, when it gets too far from $135, that, maybe I could look at those expenses again and go through them and say, what is really necessary here? Do I really need this thing, and this expense, and this expense in order for my business to run? Now, it doesn't mean my business forever is going to run on $135.99. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't stay at that number forever. But knowing that number in my head is what keeps my expenses in check, okay? Knowing that number is that I have made decisions daily to get that number down, to get that number to truly what it needs to be, to get myself honest and say, how much does an online business really need to run? All right. Okay. So now that we know my monthly bare bones expenses, and I do have my monthly bare bones expenses already covered, there's a couple other things I could do with this big cash flow that's coming in. And it's especially in this category that I call immediate obligations. If you don't know how to set up You Need a Budget, this is your first time watching a video of me using You Need a Budget in business, feel free to click the link below. I have another video that's called How to Set Up Categories in Your Business and How to Set Up a YNAB Small Business Budget. And you can watch the video down below. But for right now, I'm going to show you, I have all the expenses for November covered. I'm going to look at it and say, I got a whole bunch of cash coming in. You know what I should do first? I have annual subscriptions that run, right? I pay for them annually. So look, QuickBooks, right? I pay for this once a year. I need $145.74 by June 1st. And I believe that's supposed to say 2023. So I do need to update this. All right, but I'm going to put the $145.74 here, because I want to have that. I have this big cash month. I don't want to be scrambling in a couple months from now if I'm not able to keep up this cash inflow and then trying to scramble and come up with this money or have it put on my credit card. All right, so I have a couple other ones. Ooh, I also have a Tailwind annual subscription. But guys, this is why it's so important to have a budget that lays out where your money needs to go. So I know so many entrepreneurs that try to create a budget by their monthly expenses, just their monthly expenses. If I did that, I would not have noticed and not have put the money aside for things like annual subscriptions. Like when I pay for something annually, and I watch most entrepreneurs just all of a sudden that month comes, June comes, and it's time to up all their annual subscriptions to tech things, tech software. And all of a sudden it's like, wait, I don't have this money, Shannon. I'm like, I know, that's why you need a budget because it will lay out for you all of the places you want your money to go. It will also set up things like spending targets, goals, things like that. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to fill these in. I also pay for Zoom. Thank you, Zoom. I'm recording on you right now. $149.18. Now, side note, these might need to be updated because I'm pretty sure Squarespace just updated their price. So I might need to go through after this video and just up a little bit of them, make sure the prices are still the same. Okay, so now I have all of November funded. I have all of my annual subscriptions funded. I have $4,258.71 left. That's where I'm going to go next. I'm going to go down to true expenses. See this category here? True expenses means the thing you always pay for once, twice a year, maybe a couple times a year, but not monthly, but you always do pay for them. And in my business, I always end up every year paying for office design and supplies, client gifts. Elevate was a coaching program that I was in. Shout out to the Culvers. That was an amazing coaching program I was in. Events, networking events I go to, Pinterest or virtual assistant. I use monthly contract virtual assistant. Education, always spending money on those little $27, $47 courses. I'm always buying those every single year. Then there's also this category, stuff I forgot to budget for, which is usually just, I forgot that I pay for this one thing here or there. And these are all the things that I do buy every single year in my business, but I don't buy them monthly. Maybe I only buy them once a year, but I do purchase them, right? So I already know I want to up my virtual assistant's hours. I'm taking on some more clients. That's how I have this big cash flow. So I'm going to need her help. I'm going to put aside $450 to pay her. All right. All right. Now I'm down to $3,808.71. Well, I know I probably will buy in the next month or so, maybe another course, maybe another program. I'm going to put about $200 here. I'm a sucker for those Facebook ads with like $27 courses or $47 upsells or a $97 session. I'm a sucker. I will definitely do those and I will take them. All right. So I'm going to put $200 aside for there. I don't think I have, I do have an event coming up in December that I want to go to, and I'm pretty sure the tickets were around $45. I'm going to put that aside. And I know I've been wanting to put some money into Facebook ads too. I'm not sure what's going to be the right thing, but I know probably in the next 6 months that I'm going to be putting some money into Facebook ads. And you know what? I'm just going to start with a budget of $400 and see where that gets me. Now, as I am making these decisions, okay, guys, so this is what you can be doing in your business too. As you're making decisions in your budget and you're allocating this money and this cash flow, you can do things like decide, like, well, now I'm down to $3,163. And man, I really wanted to purchase, something for yourself, right? You wanted to put this money to you. So I'm going to show you how we can start making decisions based upon that. But I like to go through my monthly expenses, then I like to go through true expenses. And now I get down here to other places I want to put my money. All right. This is where I see a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck, is they accept all of these, pay your business, pay your employees, pay everybody else before you pay yourself, right? And I see a lot of, I'm not saying do this, I'm saying this is where I see a lot of like entrepreneurs, coaches get stuck, is they get stuck in this cycle, right? And then they forget about this little thing right here. Now, Shannon De Palma is me. That's me, okay? So I would like to pay myself, right? But a lot of people go through, put all the money here, and forget about themselves. Now, here's what we can do when you need a budget, right? I can assign all of this money to me. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do that, but I want to show you this as an example. I can assign all of this money to me. Now, before I do that, I'm like, you know what? I really want to make sure. So you see this money that's here. This was money that I have already allocated for this month, and that's been spent. So I want to make sure that I have the next couple months, Christmas is coming up, Thanksgiving's coming up. I really want to spend the next 2 months not hustling for a sale in my business. And I want to know my expenses are taken care of. I want to know I'm personally taken care of. So let me just put some more money aside for my business. I know it costs me around 135 bare bones, but I know my budget currently with the things I have. Let's see how much it's costing me right now. Okay, I'm going to click this one, this one, this one, this one, and just see what I'm paying monthly. All right, so right now with all those expenses, I'm paying $232. $243. Okay. So I know my business is going to need $243 in December, $250. So I'm going to put about $500 here. And I'll have the next couple months taken care of. All right. Now, let's fix this. Move aside. So let me take some more money from, now it says $820, and that's because I already had some money here. I had $320 put there. So let's fix this. I'm going to take it from here. We're going to fix that. All right. So now I have $820 put here. That's a lot of months, right? When my monthly expenses are around $243, sorry. I know that I have a lot of months with $820, right? That's a couple months for me. Okay, so that's good. That makes me feel good. I'm not hustling for the sale. I have months taken care of for expenses. That feels really good. But now I'm only paying myself $2,343. Now, to me personally, my personal expenses, that's a lot of money for me. Mostly my job right now is to be a stay-at-home mom. So I don't really have that many personally big expenses, but for you, $2,343 might not be a lot for you. Maybe it's not even enough to cover all of November's bills for you, right? Now, here is where traditional budgeting will steer you wrong, because what most people will do is they will put this money here, they will look at this and they will say, okay, I need to make more money, right? That's where most people go. I can only pay myself $2,300. I gotta make more money. I gotta sell another spot. I gotta launch another program, right? But I'm gonna tell you, before you do that, let's play out another idea. Let's play around with this, right? So we have some money here set aside for months. Maybe we don't need that much. Maybe we can put, $300. Maybe we can move $300 of that money to you, okay? Maybe we don't need all of those months. All right, so let's move that money there, okay? All right, that's pretty good, $520. That's about like little over 2 months, right? Not bad, okay. All right, so we have 2 months of expenses. I think that's pretty good. All right, now you have $2,600. Now don't accept this as is. Don't accept that that's all you can do. You need to go book another client. Let's get creative. Let's make some decisions. All right. So up here, the Facebook ads. Now that's something that right now in my budget is not something that I have to do. It's something that I want to do in the future. It's something that I like to pay for, but I get to make a decision. Now you need a budget is completely different in the way that traditional budgeting is. Traditional budgeting is all about planning, right? And you need a budget is all about decision-making, like daily, weekly decision-making about what your money is doing. So that's what I get to make right here, right now. I also get to make some more decisions. Say next week, if my refrigerator breaks or I need to replace something in my house and I'm like, oh my God, I need to pay myself more money. Where can I make the decisions in my budget so my business will be allowed to give me more money, right? Okay, so I have $400 on Facebook ads. Maybe that money can go to me right now. Maybe in the next couple months, I sign another client. Remember, expenses already paid for. I already have that set aside. Maybe I can now pay myself some more money. All right. So I'm going to take that from the Facebook ads because I really need some extra money this month personally. Okay. All right. Now I can pay myself $3,000. Still good. Still good. But maybe I need a little bit more. Maybe something else happens. I need a little bit more. I can take $100 from here. I can move $100 from education, say, Shannon, you got to cut back on those little $47 programs this month. Okay. All right. Let me pay myself a little bit more. Maybe I decide not to go to that event. Maybe I decide for my virtual assistant not to have that many hours. I really need to pay myself this month. I want to live maybe 1 month ahead of my personal bills this month. There's something else that needs to be done, whatever, right? But here is where YNAB is such a beautiful software because they will tell you, hey, here's all the decisions you get to make. We don't have to accept these expenses as they are. I get to make the decision of how much my business is going to take from me. Basically, I get to decide how much money is my business going to eat up in expenses. I get to decide how much money I'm going to allow myself to have from my business. There's plenty of months in business where it's not always about paying you. You got to put some money back into the business. You got to reinvest. You have to scale. You have to put more money into ads and things like that, right? And maybe that month is the month for you. Maybe you take all this $3,000 and you dump it into the Facebook ads and you don't pay yourself this month. You can do that too. But the beauty of it is seeing very clearly laid out where all of your money is going and what decisions you get to make. Now, me personally for this budget, again, I have low monthly personal expenses. I'll tell you guys, my personal budget is below $500, right? Not a typical budget for lots of people here. Lots of people have to pay for their mortgage. They have to pay for a car payment, health insurance, things like that, right? So please go by your personal budget. But I get to make the decision based upon my personal expenses. I get to make the decision based upon where my business expenses are, where I want to put my money this month. So what I'm going to decide personally is I am going to take $400 of this. I'm going to move this back. So let me just click this little undo button. Okay. I'm going to put that $400 back to Facebook ads because I would like to dabble in them, but maybe further down the line, if I'm you know what, listen, I really have no idea what I'm going to run for Facebook ads. And I feel like it might be a waste of money. You know what? Maybe I just put them to something else. Maybe I take the $400 and I put it somewhere else. But for right now, I'm thinking I'm going to be doing that in the next couple months. And that's why I'm really glad I have it laid out here in my true expenses. I'm going to take about, now my personal expenses are really small, so I just don't need this much money. I'm going to put about $1,800 and I'm going to move it to this next month category. My next month category to me is about, it's kind of like savings for me. It's basically just me knowing that I have the bills taken care of for my business, that I have extra money set aside for things like education, for the assistant. It really is just about me having lots of room to breathe in my business and to focus on my clients and to focus on me delivering the best content, the best support that my clients need. And that matters a lot to me. So I want to make sure that my business is fully funded so I can focus on my clients. Now I've left some money here for me. I can give myself some more money. I know that I spent a little bit this month on skincare. I spent a little bit, and I bought some stuff for my son's room. So I want to make sure that I have some more money there. So I will probably move another 1,000 back to here when this is all said and done. But I want you to see what it's like to know when your expenses are laid out for you, when they are put into categories, when you can actually see the decisions you get to make in your business. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If you have any questions about using You Need a Budget, feel free to post them down below. I will make sure to post the links to the other videos that I talked about today. And I hope you get to start You Need a Budget for your business, because you really do. Stop traditional budgeting in your business. It doesn't work, but You Need a Budget is the software that gets you to make daily decisions. It's a completely different way to budget your money, and it's perfect for entrepreneurs. If you are also interested in working with me, feel free to send me a message and I will get back to you, and we will talk about all the different ways I can work with your online business and You Need a Budget to create massive amounts of cash flow and create bigger profits. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.